This study, known as the Rwanda Governance Scorecard, is a collection of the national governance indicators conducted by the Rwanda Governance Board each year with the aim of showing the picture of governance at different levels and identifying appropriate strategies to formulate policies at various levels of the country. The 8th edition of the study was officially unveiled on Friday. The chairperson of Transparency International Rwanda, Ingabire Marie Immaculée, and civil society spokesperson, Dr. Joseph Nkurunziza Diarasa, praised the findings of the study, noting that there is more to improve in the governance in Rwanda. Overall, there has been a significant step forward. Our advice is to focus more on the participation or input of the people because it is important. Another thing, there is an issue of some citizens across the country complaining about compensations for their properties due to various infrastructure activities being established, which hasn't been paid as they were not involved in these decisions in the first place. The research shows that progress is good, but there are two pillars. There is community development and there are economic pillars in governance, and that's where more effort is needed. But in terms of governance and security, there has been a significant improvement, and it shows that the people have confidence in the leadership. The Chief Executive Officer of the Rwanda Governance Board, Dr. Usta Kayitesi, says that during their research, they were pleased with the role of the community as it appreciates the level of security and service delivery.
Well, we already have the private sector in the RGS. We already measure, especially on the role of gender inclusion in the RGS. The recommendation that came that was key is measuring the performance of the boards of directors in the RGS. We usually use some other data other than that, and we agreed that we are going to look at that. Sometimes the challenge is getting the data and being able to look at all the boards of directors. But yes, for governance purposes, that's a key element. Now, we are using our other service delivery assessment reports to assess the performance of boards of directors, both in public and private sectors. And we hope that is going to input into this particular recommendation.
The UN Resident Coordinator for Rwanda, Ford Ndiaye, appreciates the findings of the study as it indicates the progress Rwanda is making in governance and notes that there is need for people's involvement and cooperation to ensure that the country achieves sustainable development.
I notice in this report that the security and safety remain really performing high, which create a clear conducive environment for other sectors, making sure that we have enhanced partnership and bringing in the civil society organization, the private sector, the media, because I strongly believe that governance is not the matter of the government or any other institution, but it's a matter of all the citizens coming together and framing the conversation for national development strategy and delivering for all the people, leaving no one behind.
The study was based on 8 pillars: law enforcement, political rights and civil liberties, participatory and sustainable governance, social welfare, anti-corruption and transparency, service delivery and economic and trade governance. Jane Mutoni, RTV News.
Now, our colleague Rodamtus Bienvenue caught up with RGB CEO Dr. Usta Kayitesi to discuss more.
There are so many areas of appreciation. I would mention the use of ICT in service delivery is a key highlight. There is an improvement in service delivery mostly on the basis of the use of ICT in service delivery. That is a highlight of the RGS 8th edition. Another highlight of the RGS 8th edition is the citizen participation, especially through the use of volunteers who have been significant in dealing and combating the COVID-19 pandemic. And the areas that require improvement, as earlier mentioned, include service delivery to the people with disability, especially with regard to categorizing them in order to permit them to have access, and certainly the economic sector that was hardly hit by the COVID-19. But I want to encourage the general public to stay focused on fighting the COVID-19 by responding to the opportunities of vaccination and also by keeping safe from COVID-19 and responding to the measures as required. Well, in the areas of inclusiveness and participation, I think The participation in the elaboration of the plans that this country is delivering on has been very central. The citizens have been putted on Imihigo and other approaches, but the opportunity that through homegrown solutions we are all able to deliver on these on these challenges that we have as a country is key. And when we look at the COVID-19 specifically, looking at what everyone has done to keep their neighbors safe and what everyone can do to keep their neighbors safe is a key element of inclusiveness. Also, considering both women and children as participants in this regard.